Welcome back to another episode of Let's Talk About Cryptocurrency while we're secretly freaking out about the possibility of World War III. And in today's episode, we actually have a stunning revelation that SBF, the scam artist formerly known as FTX, was actually, literally, conspiring to keep Bitcoin under 20K. And this is from bombshell testimony from none other than his ex-lover that he paid $20 million. I know these are a lot of crazy facts, but check this out. This is the face of Caroline Ellison. Sam Bankman-Fried dated Caroline Ellison, and I'm not here to body shame here, but let's be real. That is the face of someone who has been aged and stressed by a ton of illicit crimes that she knows she's guilty of. That is the face, in my opinion, allegedly, supposedly, as it appears to me, legal jargon. Because I don't want to be sued here. Obviously, she hasn't been convicted of a crime yet, or at least I don't think so. I'm not really sure what's going on with her. But she's been testifying against her ex-lover, Sam Bankman-Fried, and the testimony is crazy. First of all, the trial testimony here, as being reported by @InnerCity Press, is wild here. This is obviously him reporting it. I suggest you go through all of this because it's mind-blowing what's going on in this trial. But one of the absolute most juicy pieces of information is that not only were they dating, but that Sam wasn't spending much time with Caroline, which is why they broke up. And the prosecutor says, was it a secret, the relationship? And Ellison said, at first, then he told me I could say we were living together, but no more, AKA that they were roommates or something to that effect. Effectively, Sam was trying to keep his relationship with Caroline on the low. And then we get this, what was your salary? $200,000. Then a bonus in 2021 of $20 million. $20 million bonus for your lover that you didn't spend time with. I'm literally at a loss for words on that. But let's get to the actual juicy part of this that pertains to cryptocurrency, because this is very important. Look at this. As part of the testimony, we've just learned that Caroline Ellison and Sam Bankman-Fried conspired to keep Bitcoin under $20,000 by selling customer Bitcoin. Okay, here we get to the juicy stuff. How would you describe your state of mind at this point when Alameda owed SBF customers $14 billion? I was in a state of dread if FTS customers tried to withdraw. How are you communicating with the defendant? Signal. Obviously, Signal is for private chat or effectively encrypted messages. Do these messages still exist? No, Sam told us to set them to erase. Who is us? FTX staff. He told us not to leave things in writing, to have sensitive conversations in Signal or in person or not at all. What does this say? Sam Bankman-Fried set the disappearing message time for 1 week. Did you speak in coded terms? Yes. When we gave a large bribe to China, our accounts were frozen in a money laundering investigation. So apparently there was a big bribe that was made to China that was actually part of a money laundering investigation in China. These are new things that we didn't even know about, but it gets even juicier. And then we'll get to the 20K thing in Bitcoin, and you can just see how disgusting and how perverse the manipulation of Bitcoin was throughout the last bear market. And then we'll get to what to expect with price action going forward. This is important though. How much money was frozen in China? $1 billion. Sam wanted us to find ways to address it. How were they unfrozen? Alameda paid a bribe to Chinese officials, and this was stricken. When Sam actually got some pushback here from someone named Handy, disagreed, Sam told her to STFU, bro. Effectively, they spent $100 million to unfreeze the accounts in bribes. Okay, we're about to get to the juiciest part here, but as you can see, not only was Sam actively borrowing against customer funds, not only was he very comfortable abusing his staff whenever they disagreed with him, not only was he actively communicating in code, but he was going so far as to bribe the Chinese government to unfreeze money. There's pretty much no line that Sam wasn't willing to cross here as far as gray market behavior. Again, the man's on trial. We'll see if he's guilty or innocent. Obviously, it does appear, based on a mountain of evidence to any layperson, that he's done some horrible things. However, this testimony by Caroline Ellison is incredibly damning because a lot of people thought there was absolutely no way that Bitcoin would ever go under $20,000 again, not after the technical top that it formed in the 2017 bull market, as well as that incredible strong resistance that it should have held during the 2022 bear market. But instead, we were getting manipulated. And check this out. We now have proof via the testimony of Caroline Ellison that from a conversation with Sam, notes that she had taken, she wrote, keep selling BTC if it's over 20K. The prosecutor said, you wrote, FTX may raise. What does that mean? Raise capital by selling equity to get more money to investors like MSB, the Saudi prince. So Sam was willing to go to the Saudi prince to broker a deal here to bail out FTX. That was a final failsafe. But also, very critically, they were selling Bitcoin every time it went over 20,000. And would it surprise you to see that as soon as the FTX debacle was resolved, the price quickly normalized to well above $20,000 in a very rapid ascension? Was this just a coincidence, or was FTX, one of the biggest players in the world, selling our coins, the community's coins, in order to artificially manipulate the price down? To recap, Caroline Ellison admits that Sam bribed Chinese officials with $100 million to unfreeze their assets, purposely tried to scam Saudi investors in the final days of FTX, intentionally tried to sic regulators on Binance to destroy his competition, and it is only lunchtime. Wow, just wow. Honestly, looking back, the history books will write that the eradication of Sam and his ability to not only sort of lie, cheat, and steal literally at the biggest scale we've ever seen anyone do it, but to do it without any care for pretty much anyone or anything that he might hurt in the process is astounding. And his ability to simultaneously project an image of authenticity to get buy-in from the biggest investors who should have done their due diligence and then created the environment for crypto OGs and crypto veterans to believe that things had been properly vetted by these high-level investors. It's just astounding. It's just astounding. Anyway, this is going to go down as not only just one of the biggest scams in the world, but also I think there's like a psychological study to be performed on someone like Sam to just find out how someone could be so downright sociopathic. It is mind-blowing. But not only that, we actually now have proof that Bitcoin was being suppressed and that being under $20,000 was actually probably not a natural state for it. I mean, it's very rare that an asset class will go under its prior cycle top. That is very abnormal. So Bitcoin under 20K was an extreme deviation and showed exactly why people were so scared under 20K, because it should never have gone under that number. It should never have gone over that prior cycle peak. That should have been a hard bottom for the Bitcoin market. And in my opinion, as we look towards the next phase, seeing Bitcoin potentially collapse here in any meaningful degree as we approach the halving, with all these black swans going on as people chant WW3 from the rooftops as we see the escalation in the conflict in the Middle East, well, it's worth noting that maybe, just maybe, that $20,000 level will not be breached again if we do not have wide-scale bad actors suppressing the price. Here, Rect Capital shares his lines on charts, his astrology for men here. You could see that there could be a triangle pattern here where if it were to revisit the bottom end of the lows, you could see that it comes in, a little under 20K here. I don't have a technical chart here, but again, this would show it resolving right about the halving, where he would expect that there would be some kind of breakout here into the blue zone and eventually recovery up. So again, like we've been saying, we're very bullish into this cycle as the beginning of the cycle, but we're prepared right now for some sort of black swan to get people off their game. Again, we're not fully out of the market, but we're certainly not fully in the market as we average into the coins that we're excited about, potentially at fire sale values. In other pretty important news, JP Morgan has just debuted a tokenization platform that the first customer of was BlackRock. And this just shows you the TradFi bros are out in full effect. They are coming into crypto. They are going to be doing things like tokenizing real world assets and providing the verified and trustworthy custodianship that we've all so desperately sought after. All of our tinkering over here in crypto land is leading to their adoption of what will probably become institutional grade products. So make no mistake, crypto is coming. It is definitely coming. However, there is going to be a line, it seems, dividing certain coins from others. And that's where we feel like Bitcoin is going to enter into quite an interesting narrative over the coming weeks and months. But again, make no mistake, Ethereum is absolutely part of the conversation, as experts are now talking about an Ethereum virtual machine being added to Bitcoin in order to effectively build Ethereum-style apps on top of Bitcoin's settlement layer. Again, those who deny the innovation of Ethereum are as bad as the ones, in my opinion, who deny the innovation of Bitcoin. They are both important 0-to-1 innovations, and they are both part of my Boomer Coin part of my crypto barbell. Again, check out my barbell investing strategy if you want more information on that. Again, I wouldn't freak out too much at 26.5. Again, Bitcoin had a little bit of a breakdown from its range. We can see that, but it's still above pretty much all the major important levels. It hasn't breached reached any major important levels. Check out Crown if you want to see what those important levels are, but really above 25.5 or something like that, we're not looking at a big breakdown yet. However, as I've said many times before, I am ready and actually actively planning for some kind of breakdown. If we break down, I'll be adding in buys around 23, and then again, some major buys around 20K. If we go below 20K, well, I'm probably just going to empty out what I have left, because quite frankly, I just don't think we'll go too much lower than that. And if we do go too much lower than that, my plan would be to start pulling fiat out of my fiat accounts and putting it into Bitcoin. If we break below 15K or 16K or something like that, I'd be pulling from my fiat accounts and not just moving more of my stable coins into crypto. That's my personal strategy. Again, I encourage you guys to find your own. As always, if you guys enjoy these videos, I know you do, hit that like button. And if you don't, hit that dislike button.
Oh God, it's so bad, the video.
Anyways, I'm EllioTrades. Check out this video. It's really good. And I'll see you soon on the next episode.